Hello, YouTube Live. We are streaming. I have this fancy thing, and I can see comments as they come in. I want the comments, guys. I want the optimism. This is going to be happening all season long. You can ask guests questions. We are going to go live through commercial breaks where the FCC cannot touch me. So at Up and Adam Show on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere, 2 days away from Lions Chiefs. We're going to show you the week 1 slate. We haven't done that yet. And where's Bosa? You know, where's our guy, Chris Jones? Where's Big Guy 95, my yoga partner? Big guest this week, people. Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones on the show. Is Bill Simmons popping by the program today? We welcome Deebo Samuel, and Kyle Rudolph joins us to celebrate his retirement. Let's go. Here in the comments, I'm loving the comments. Jonathan Brown, thank you for subscribing. Why do I always think Justin Herbert's going to win MVP? Because he's healthy. He's got Kellen Moore calling the shots, and he could make noise on Sunday. It's week 1. Everyone's optimistic. Everybody's happy. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for being on YouTube. If you have questions for Deebo Samuel, if you have questions for Kyle Rudolph, who's an analyst now, will he keep it real about Kirk Cousins? Will he? We'll ask him when he joins the show. Big week, guys. We have Gronk Day, Monday, Tuesday, Gronk Day. That'll be every Wednesday. He's here for the whole hour. Somebody get me some Excedrin and like some sort of, I don't even know, a rule book on him. Dak Prescott, like I said, Daniel Jones on this week. But the star of the actual show is, in fact, football. Chiefs-Lions on Thursday. Let's dig into everyone's big 6'6", 310-pound question. What the F is going on with Chris Jones? Now, if you were too busy setting up the old slip and slide, the crocodile mile, that's what they called it in Chicago. If you were in the backyard, you know, cooking up brats or whatever, or driving back from insert national park here on your Labor Day weekend, I get it. Let's fill you in. Nick Wright, big KC guy, works over at Fox. He tweeted or X'd, I guess, that the Chiefs and Jones are supposedly $9.5 million apart in their talks, and that Chris Jones wants to become the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. So let's take a peek at what that would look like. Aaron Donald leads the way, $31.67 million, and that's $333K under what Jones is reportedly asking for. So all of his contracts were signed last offseason with the cap continuing to go up as it should. Is it crazy that I don't think this is like the most unreasonable ask of Chris Jones and his camp? Listen, I know he has not yet won a DPOY, okay? And Donald has 3, and that's the comp here. But paying guys is not just about past production, right? It's about market, it's about where it's going. Like I said, that cap's going up. And it's about what Veach and company think he can do going forward. The truth is, Jones is coming off his best season. He was first-team All-Pro, a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, and he's also 3 years younger than Donald. He's 29. He's very much still in his prime. 32 sacks over the last 3 years. That is 1 more than Donald has had. And he leads all interior D linemen in that category. So I'm just going to say, and I always say I see both sides, the GM side and keeping it all together, and of course the player side. But let's not pretend this is some crazy request, especially with it being just a 2-year deal. Somebody's going to make more than Donald. Get over it, everybody. A bunch of quarterbacks make more than Mahomes. It's called the market. You don't have to be like, you don't have to clear Aaron Donald's production to get paid like he does. I don't get it. I think the Chiefs, and I hope they pony up, make it work, bring the focus back to defending the title. And I see you people out there chipping away at Jones and trying to like belittle him or trying to bully him into whatever, like, we don't need him, he's not that good. You literally do not have 2 Super Bowl rings without him. And tell me, do you think you can do it in the AFC without him this year? That's a big question, and that we'll, of course, be asking Deebo Samuel potentially about, although he's got bigger fish to fry with Bosa, because you know what honestly helps the Chris Jones request look a little more sensible? The Bosa thing. If you look here, the great rap sheet, who we know and love, who's not allowed to come on our show yet. We're working on it. He said this: there would need to be a significant breakthrough in the coming days to get this contract-ish resolved. This is what I like to call bleak 182, people. This is officially bleak 182. Bosa's reportedly asking for something in the ballpark of $35 million a year. That is $3 million more per season than Chris Jones is warranting and wanting, okay? Reportedly. Hard to argue the reigning Defensive Player of the Year isn't worth it. No one has more sacks than him over the past 2 seasons. He's still only 25 years old, which is insane. But hear me out. the Niners have to be careful here, okay? They're already set to be $1 million over the cap next year, and that's without Bosa on the book. So life is hard at the top, right? It is tough to keep star teams together, and sure, moving forward with our boy Brock Purdy, and we'll ask Deebo about him, and his roughly $1 million cap hit over the next 2 years is like a chef's kiss and will absolutely help. But John Lynch and company have really tough decisions over the next few seasons. The biggest thing, and this is the thing that the Chiefs don't have to deal with, is that the Niners still need to cash in. Like, you need to score a home run here. The Chiefs are made men, with or without Chris Jones. You Niners, you have not won a Super Bowl. I know you don't want the reminder there. That's the pressure cooker that you're living in with this Bosa thing. It might be the best roster you've had in this window, and you have not won in it. So, by the way, if I was drafting a list of players who I think have the stones to hold out into the season, I gotta tell you, and maybe it's just because Joey Bosa did it his rookie year, he missed those 3 games, then he got paid, but Nick Bosa, he's got the cojones to do it, okay? Listen, let's just hope it gets fixed, because it's Niners-Steelers this weekend, and I'm telling you, the Steelers are looking real pretty. I am high on Pittsburgh, no Kittle potentially. Deebo is on the show, and you guys can talk to him with your comments. The Chiefs have no defense without him, period, Madam Adams. Yeah, that's the question. Do you, and I would ask it to both the Chiefs and the Niners, can you win a Super Bowl without those respective players? Because y'all are in the window. Let's go. And it's NFL week, guys. Bang, bang, bird gang. Oh, that one's from Marissa here. Marissa's our resident Eagles fan. Guys, thanks for watching on YouTube. This is so much fun. We love to talk about the NFL day in, day out, but we haven't had this beautiful thing, okay? This to talk about. So let's skip. Let's skip and talk about this schedule and what is going on, because there's the beautiful primetime games, of course, Lions at Chiefs, that kicks it off in a couple of days. We've got Bills and Jets, the Monday nighter, which will be super, super fun as well. But, and then what do we have Sunday night? Oh yeah, Cowboys Giants. I'll be in New York. Do I go to both those games, Sunday and Monday? Maybe. And that debut between Rodgers and Josh Allen happens Monday night. But there are some awesome Sunday games. These bad boys that I'm looking at right here that I just kind of want to, I haven't talked about them or picked them apart, and I wanted to dig into a couple intriguing storylines here. And let's do it. Yeah, here they are. I want to start with the 1 p.m. window with the Bengals taking on the Browns. This one's in Cleveland. And why this one is special to me, this is Burrow's first on-field action after missing pretty much the entire preseason with a calf injury. And it's also our first look at the Bengals O-line. And I got to say, I don't know if I would say I'm worried. Like, Burrow doesn't come out hot out the gates really ever, and it might be because of the injury, it might just be because he likes to warm up, whatever. But I don't. This is a tough draw for our boy Joe. Look at the history. Joe picked up his first career win against Cleveland, Week 14 of last year, but Myles Garrett has owned this matchup. Joe has been sacked 3.6 times per game in his 5 career games against Cleveland and has taken 7 hits a game in those contests as well. I hate this for him. It's all resulted in his passer rating being nearly 10 points lower than his career average. So this is a tough one. Really nice opportunity. Are we trying to be positive? Like Orlando Brown, who we love, one of our favorite guys we saw on our training camp tour, Ted Karras and company. Like, let's protect our boy. And if you look at the next game I want to talk about, it's the 4 p.m. window. Listen, most storied rivalry there is in the NFL. It's got a little something new, a little new chapter. It's Packers-Bears. Over the last 10 years, this thing has been the most one-sided piece of all, okay? The Packers won 17 of the last 20 meetings by an average of double digits. So it is all about Love versus Fields. It is all about the intrigue of the unknown, both with tons to prove. And I like Love more than most. But with this game, people, taking place Week 1, out the gates in Chicago, it really puts most of the pressure, I think, on the Bears. People aren't expecting that much. There's no Love's going to come in and beat Aaron Rodgers. Like, that ran its course. We know Rodgers is doing his thing. But with the Bears, after what has been an offseason full of wins and full of hype and full of celebrating, like maybe not as much as the Lions in this division, but a lot. This fan base was going crazy after the Rodgers trade. It would be so hard to stomach the Packers coming out of Soldier Field. I can't even say it. If the Packers win, oh my God. I will say, if any young quarterback is ready to handle sort of the weight of all of this, I think it's Justin Fields, especially guys with the new weapons. Okay, yeah, let's show some nice. Yeah, and I don't know if I want to see those nice Packers highlights. No, thank you. I don't know what that was. No, thank you. Finally, 4 p.m. window, I am looking at the Dolphins and Chargers, 2 explosive offenses. I want fireworks. I feel like I can always call these games when there's going to be high scoring. I love fantasy football. This will be like where I'm stacking my daily lineups. We'll get you set for that later this week. Both of these teams are finding their way into the playoffs this year. Those are my predictions, okay? And we're doing Predict-a-thon later. But these are playoff teams playing each other, okay? Justin Herbert got his mega deal this offseason, so it's a nice opportunity, sure for him, but for Tua to make a statement about him, about his future in Miami. The Dolphins reportedly tabled any talks of an extension with him last week, but if he can come out and out-duel the newly minted $262 million man in Herbert, and if he can use some of those like judo moves we've been talking about to escape Mac and Bosa, I think it instantly sort of gets the Tua train, which needs to be put into the right direction again. And why does it need to? Because people hate on Tua, that's true, but also, he had it really rough in this matchup last year. I don't want to love you Dolphins fans. I'm not trying to remind you about this, but it was a rough go for him. And then if you look at the Chargers side of things, we're big fans here. You get to see not only a healthy Herbert, but what can Kellen Moore do with a healthy Herbert? Can he out-duel McDaniel? I'm into that, okay? Like Mike tells Carmi in The Bear, which I'm watching. Wow, me watching the show is huge. I downloaded Hulu. You're proud of me? Yeah. Thank you. Let it rip. Isn't that what he says? The brother? Let it rip, Kellen. Let it go. All right, what's going on? By the way, these games you can see on the Sunday Ticket. Everybody loves the Sunday Ticket. YouTube took over. We love YouTube, and we love FanDuel because FanDuel is always hooking you up. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and we appreciate all the customers supporting the #1 sportsbook because new customers can bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets guaranteed, but that's not what I want to talk about at all. I want to talk about this thing, okay? If you bet $5, you will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Like, that stuff is not cheap. You get to watch all these great games, but $100 off sounds amazing. Download the app, figure it out. You guys just saw the promo. We'll tweet it, and we'll do all of that. Okay, Marissa. Now, if you're watching on YouTube and you don't know Marissa, this is Marissa and Eric. Eric's a big Packer Brewer fan. This is our Philly girl, Marissa.
Hi.
What's going on in these comments?
Oh, they are popping off right now.
Tell me what's going on. Do people disagree with anything I'm saying? That's what I want to know.
I saw a couple disagreements.
Tell me.
Not too bad, though.
Oh, the Bears fan in K is coming out.
Yeah, they're excited for that.
About what?
The Bears love coming out.
The Bears and love, or like love defeating the Bears, or like what? Like who
Your
knows?
love for the Bears.
Here's my deal. I just like undersell, over deliver. I don't like, like when Calvin Johnson comes on and goes, I expect the Lions to win the division, or we had Aqib Talib saying the Lions are going to be a top 4 team standing in the NFC. I'm like, oh, I hate that for you. I hate that for you, Lions. I just don't like the, I don't like the expectation. It's just how I always am. We're talking about, I picked Justin Herbert to win the MVP, and then people are saying, no, if Jalen throws for 4,000 and runs 1,000, he's getting it. Not really, because it's about expectation. It's about, like, if Jalen loses the 1 seed in the NFC, that's a disappointment. If Justin Herbert beats Mahomes twice, or wins the division, or makes it to playoffs and wins a game, like, that blows everybody out the water. So I always like rooting for the underdog, and that kind of feels like it's the Packers this year.
I totally agree with you.
This makes you
There's
happy?
going to be a lot of disappointed Bears fans if we roll in and win.
Hey, how many Celsiuses have you had today, Marissa?
8.
Love that. All right, let me see. I think Herbert will have an MVP-type season this year. Thank you. Lions fans are overrated. All right, we're going to get to a break. I'm appreciating, guys, all the subscriptions. And this YouTube thing is, like, still going. Like, it has not gone off the rails or off the air. Do we have champagne in studio? Because we got to celebrate. Oh, my God, that's the biggest hand I've ever seen in my entire life. Kyle Rudolph, full sleeve, going from NFL to analyst. And we are going to cheers to an extraordinary career.
Some champagne in the fridge.
Do we?
I'm sure we do.
Do we have champagne?
We might.
Anyone? Kat, can you go see if there's champagne? But like literally in the next minute. There we go. We have a new member to the team. Her name's Kat, and what has she done so far? She had to greet me grumpily coming out of the car this morning. Guys, we're gonna show you live break. So we're in commercial for TV on FanDuel TV. But now we're gonna hang out with Kyle Rudolph. Can Kyle hear me? Kyle?
Yeah,
Yes,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, Kay?
I'm so great. Thanks for joining us. And congrats on, I mean, you got a gig right away.
Thank you. Yeah, for me, the season ended and I kind of thought I was going to be done.
Yeah.
Last couple of years have been long years, and everybody always says, like, when it's over, you know. And I kind of just approached the off season like I did every year. Like, we lost in the playoffs. You watch somebody else win the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh no, I still want to do this. I still want to do this. And then I went into free agency. We talked to a few teams, and I'm like, do I really want to move my family again? Like, the kids are getting older. And then I had some opportunities in media, and I did a couple games for NBC. I met with some people at Fox, and it was like, do I really want to put this off another year to just go, you know, think I can find a good situation?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, because at this point in your career, you don't want to go play for a team that's rebuilding. You want to win games. So ultimately, you know, back in, I guess it was March or so, it's like, I'm going to do this TV media thing.
You're going to kill it.
I've been thank you. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people help me along the way and, you know, reach out, offer me favors. So
I mean,
I'm
it's
excited.
not, you've done so much for so, like, I can't wait to talk to you. We're going to be on in like 50 seconds. Sound good?
That's perfect.
All right. Hey, Marissa, if there's any YouTube questions, maybe if anybody out there has questions that's watching on our YouTube stream for our guy. By the way, Kyle, he's not going to just talk, you know, bucks and tight ends. I mean, this is now an NFL analyst who's like doing his thing. So anything goes. Anything goes out there, guys, if you have any questions for Kyle.
We love that.
Thank you for the catch in New Orleans. No! The catch in New Orleans. Hold on. Ben Sorensen. That was like my nightmare. That was my literal nightmare. Does Kirk Cousins have any nicknames? I need straws. I just need straws.
Do you want me to get more?
That's Kat's second thing I need her to do. No champagne, huh? All right, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. We are streaming live on YouTube at Up and Adam Show. I'm loving the comments. I'm loving the subscriptions. I'm loving, you know, the questions from people about Kirk Cousins having nicknames. I know somebody who might have an answer to that. Our next guest played tight end in the NFL. Played with a D, past tense, sad, but a celebration nonetheless. 12 seasons, 10 of those up in Minnesota. Please welcome two-time Pro Bowler, multiple times, like a million years in a row, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, Kyle Rudolph. How are you?
I'm great, Kay. How are you?
I'm so amazing. Not as amazing as you because we have a lot to celebrate here. Congratulations on a truly incredible career. 50 career touchdowns, nice even number. How do you feel?
I'm excited for what's next. I think oftentimes in our game, it ends before most guys want it to end. And for me, going through this offseason, deciding what's next, what's not only best for me, but what's best for my family. I'm not a 25-year-old making decisions solely for myself. There's other lives that are involved, and having the opportunity to do some media this year, you know, I tell people oftentimes, you know, the game ends and you have to figure out what's next. And for me, I was fortunate to be able to get my foot in the door and create a few opportunities that ultimately pulled me away from the game and allowed me to transition and made this transition much easier than if this training camp I was on the outside looking in, like dying to be there and can't find a job. You know, for me, I didn't think about football a whole lot in August this year, which is the first time since I was 5 years old. So great to be home more, to be around my family, drop my kids off for their first day of school, do things like that I've never done before and that I've missed every year.
Now, it sounds amazing. We're going to miss you out there, not just for what you did on the field, but truly, like, congratulations on being such a great example for everyone who loves the NFL, who wants to play in the NFL or be a fan and help in the community. I mean, your work with End Zone Foundation, your work with muscular dystrophy, we would run up against the end of the show if I were to list the amount of things that you were involved in. So what are you, if you look back a little bit to these 12 years, what are you most proud of?
I think the biggest thing, I was just on radio with my former college coach, Charlie Weiss, and he asked me a similar question. And when I think back, it goes far beyond just my 12 years in the NFL. It's 3 years at Notre Dame, 4 years in high school. I mentioned I started playing football when I was 5 years old. And the thing that sticks with me from every level of football along the way are the people. The people that I played with, coaches, support staff, members of the media. I formed relationships, especially with the media members in Minnesota that we were, in the locker room, on the practice field with every day. They come in 10 minutes after a big win or a tough loss. It's all of the people that have made this journey so special. And I think that's not any more true than, my family. Being able to do this with my wife, with my kids, with my parents, my siblings, like every step along the way, every goal that I've achieved, all the success, it wasn't me. It was everyone that was there with me. And I think that's one of the things that I always enjoyed most. And that's what motivated me throughout my entire career was hopefully getting to celebrate a Super Bowl with all those people. And, ultimately that's the only thing I didn't accomplish. Like that's the only goal that I ever set in football that I won't be able to accomplish. And, who knows, maybe on the TV side, I'll get to cover one day and that'll be my Super Bowl experience.
I don't know. I was going to say, maybe you'll win an Emmy, but I don't think that would equal the feeling of winning the Super Bowl. Is there a moment? Give me just like your favorite moment as a Viking. You spent so much time there. What was the moment?
Not to bring up the New Orleans touchdown again, but and it's not even so much the touchdown. It's 10 minutes after this. I was on, you see Chris Myers right there in the background. So I was with Chris Myers immediately following. I do the interview on the field, and it's straight into the tunnel. Every person that's there along the way, it's in the locker room following the game, just celebrating with everyone, because you put so much into every game, every week along the way. But then in the playoffs, if we don't win that game, that team's never together ever again. And so, just kind of the joy and celebration in the locker room, that trumps the actual touchdown catch 100 times for me. Again, it goes back to the people and being around the men and women who poured their lives into allowing me to make that 4-yard catch. And again, like, could have been anyone that made that play. I just happened to be the one to catch the ball. And it was really the celebration with everyone there following.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the Superdome, which had to be in. I was actually at that game. I thought the Saints were going to win the Super Bowl that year. You helped ruin it. It was absolutely incredible, and I like all the extracurriculars. How does it rank up against catching what was your last touchdown catch, number 50, from Tom Brady?
That's a funny story because, 2019, I catch a touchdown in US Bank Stadium. 2020, my last year in Minnesota. It was my 47th touchdown. So it's like, oh, perfect. I'm going to get
right.
50, 60. Like, I'm going to catch a lot of these. I catch one touchdown that year. I catch one touchdown in 21 in New York. And now we're in the last game of the regular season in Tampa. And I still have 49. Obviously, 50 would have been really cool. And quite honestly, I just chalked it up. It's like, it's not meant to be. I had 2 years in a row of one touchdown. I never only had one touchdown throughout my career. And you know what? I was like, it is what it is. And we first drive of the game, Tom's playing in a game that doesn't mean anything, but that's Tom. He wanted to be out there. He wanted to play. He wanted to compete. And he breaks a couple records on the first drive of the game. It was 3rd and goal, and that was my first play of the game. They called me from the sidelines. I'm like, oh my God, I might have a chance to score a touchdown. So I catch the touchdown, and I know it was 50. So I keep the ball, go straight to the sidelines, give it to the equipment manager. They're going to get it painted up for me, 50th career touchdown, and all of that was cool. But then it was kind of what happened a month or so later. Tom retires. That was Tom's last regular season touchdown. So you have the greatest player that ever played our game. I don't know how many touchdown passes he threw in his career, but that's the last one. And yet that ball is painted in my office, and it says Kyle Rudolph's 50th career touchdown, not Tom Brady's last career touchdown. So I joke around that I have that ball, and I've completely devalued it by putting my 50th career touchdown on it.
I think he's got enough game balls. He's got his trophy. His trophy case is looking pretty okay. I want to talk, you were talking Tom Brady. You have great perspective you're going to bring as an NFL analyst, and we're all very excited about that, of course, and you'll be doing your thing on Fox Sports Radio where Tom Brady is going to be involved, apparently, allegedly, although I don't believe it, at some point in time, and you're going to be the Big Ten analyst on Peacock. But you played with the greatest player of all time. You said it. And you also spent so many years with Kirk Cousins, who we've gotten a bit of a different peek of over the past couple seasons, and with, of course, the quarterback series on Netflix. But these Vikings are a question mark. I'm here talking Bears-Packers when it's the Vikings that are coming off as the division winner, 13-4. First-round exit in the playoffs that everybody blames on Kirk Cousins, even though the team has the 31st ranked defense in the NFL last year. So if we put on your NFL analyst hat here, what do you make of Kirk Cousins, and should he be the quarterback next year?
Well, I think there's a reason why Netflix did the documentary Quarterback, and it wasn't about any other position on the field. That position, rightfully so, gets way more credit when they win, and they also take way more scrutiny when they lose. Somewhere in the middle is reality. And, football is ultimately a team game where, it takes the other 10 guys on the field doing their job to win that playoff game where most of the scrutiny was ultimately placed upon Kirk. But, I look at that Vikings in a division now where for the first time in 30 years, you don't have Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the border to battle against for that division. The Bears are a lot better. I see the Bears as kind of a Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago, where you have a young quarterback on a rookie deal who's super talented, can run the football, can throw the football, but you have so much money to spend everywhere else because you're not spending $50 million on your quarterback. And then you have the Detroit Lions and what they've built in Detroit. So, it's a division that's really up for grabs for the first time.
Who's
and
winning
I mentioned
it? Who's winning the North?
Vikings are going to win it.
Yeah?
The Vikings are going to win the North. Yeah, I think the Vikings repeat in the North. And I think ultimately it's because of Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, you look at Kevin O'Connell and what he's done. He comes there in his first year as a head coach, and you mentioned it, double-digit wins, obviously an early playoff exit. But how often are first-year head coaches that are going through that transition having the success that he had in year one?
Yeah.
There's just a heightened level of comfort in the second year together.
But why do people have so many questions, Kyle, about Kirk? Like, I don't hear the Kevin O'Connell questions. It's just about, Kevin O'Connell, you could say, we don't know if he can do it. We don't know how good he is. He's new still. Kirk isn't, right? Kirk isn't, we know what Kirk is. Why does he get so much criticism?
Because he's a highly paid quarterback that hasn't won a Super Bowl. And whether it's fair or not, quarterbacks are measured off of one thing, and that's wins or losses. I said it earlier. There's 10 other guys that should get a lot more credit when Kirk wins big games. And there's also 10 other guys who deserve some of the blame, sometimes 11 other guys, whether it's defense, special teams, when you lose. So, whether it's right or wrong, I mentioned it before, there's a reason why that documentary on Netflix is about the quarterback position. It's the most high-profile position. These guys are the ones constantly under the microscope, constantly being scrutinized. And for Kirk, that's not going to go away until he goes and plays in a Super Bowl and wins a Super Bowl. That's how you're measured. When you're making that much money, you know, we brought Kirk to Minnesota in 2018 to win a Super Bowl. We were coming off of an NFC championship loss. So there was only one way to go, and that was to take the next step to win a Super Bowl. And they haven't been back to the NFC championship since.
Right.
So I think that's why you see the scrutiny, is because he was an extremely high paid free agent who came to Minnesota to take that next step, and they haven't been back since.
Okay, well, it's a great answer. Quarterbacks that are highly paid have a target on their back. Daniel Jones will be a guest on my show every Tuesday. I know nothing about this kid, zero. What I do know
He's the best.
is that in the world of sports media, and I'm happy to hear it, a place filled with venom for anybody who's not doing what they're supposed to do. You know, everybody was rough on him in the beginning, but now everyone's saying he's going to be Eli Manning. Like, those are lofty expectations for this quarterback. What should I expect in 2023 from Daniel Jones?
I think you expect a guy who takes another step forward off of what he showed last year. You look at DJ and the circumstances that he was placed in his first 3 years. That organization did everything possible to screw him up. You draft the kid 6th overall. You know, many people thought he was overdrafted, but they saw a skill set. And I say this all the time, and I think people started to see it a little bit last year. No one wants to give him the credit of being this kind of freak athlete because he's a nerdy kid from Duke and he just like doesn't have that about
and
him.
he tripped. That sucked.
But he tripped running 22 or whatever, 23 miles an hour. He was running faster than Lamar Jackson ran that year. So, like, people don't want to give him that credit because it's just not his nature. It's not his personality. But he's as talented. I said this when I got to New York. He's as talented, if not more talented, than any quarterback I had played with up until that point. And now you're starting to see his skill set shine through under an offensive-minded head coach in Brian Daboll, who is putting him in situations. You know, I was with Kafka as a backup quarterback in Minnesota, and now seeing him as an offensive coordinator and the things that he's implementing there. These guys, you know, we keep talking about the quarterbacks and the quarterback position. If you don't put them in a situation to be successful and surround them with guys up front to protect them and playmakers around them, they're not going to have success, especially early in their career. You see late in the guy's career, whether it's, you know, Aaron or Drew, Tom, you know, those guys will make others around them better. You know, Patrick Mahomes, look at what's happened over 100%. The last couple of years in Kansas City. You know, Tyreek Hill leaves, everybody's, all the Chiefs won't be the same. Yet it's just a new cast of characters at wide receiver that Patrick makes better, and they go win another Super Bowl. So I think young quarterbacks like DJ, you compared him to Eli Manning. I think that's the best trait about him, is he has a similar personality to Eli, to where all of that media in New York City and all of the outside perspective won't bother him. Okay. You know, whether it's through a great season and a playoff win like last year, or when the New York Giants have adversity like they will at some point this year, that adversity is not going to bother him. He's going to show up to work every day and give you everything he has to go out and help his team win. And that's all he really cares about. And I think that's ultimately why you see Eli go on and win a couple Super Bowls and win a couple Super Bowl MVPs. Because he never really worried about anything else. It was just about going and playing ball and giving his guys around him a chance to have success. Right. And that's what DJ does.
I'm going to try to get some news bites out of him as we do it. He's quite a challenge for me. It's probably my biggest professional challenge ever, is taking on Daniel Jones, who literally says nothing. He does not say anything, and I want to open him up a la Eli just a little bit. Listen, you are open for business. You are vulnerable. You are ready to be an analyst. Be sure to listen to Kyle on his new show, Fox Football Sunday, that he's working on. It debuts this Sunday, September 10th, from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Radio. Congratulations on such an amazing career. And say hi to Deebo Samuel on your way out. Hey, Deebo, wish him a happy retirement. 12 years in the league. Do we have Deebo?
Congrats on an awesome career, bro.
I appreciate it, Deebo, man. Best of luck this year.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Kyle's out. Deebo is in after this break. The Niners do it all. Just offensive weapon. OW, Deebo Samuel on the show. Could we not do splits there? Could we not do splits there, guys? Oh, okay. What does that mean? Caught? How do I fix that? Derek. No, you can tell me now. Got it.
This is too big, right?
No, let's do it. Strawgate. I texted Richard at like 5:55 and I go, I can't believe I have to text you this. But I need straws. It has been 7 weeks of making fun of these straws. Who pointed out on television these straws?
Somebody did.
Akib Talib? No, somebody, Patrick Chung. Patrick Chung, Super Bowl champion, was like, you're a weirdo for using these straws. This reminds me of like a total office space vibe. This looks terrible too. It's fine.
What type of straws do you get for a coffee cup?
Nothing. I don't know. I don't even know. It's not like I fix my lip is gone. The jig is up. There's no lipstick on anymore. I don't know why that's a thing. All right, guys. Thank you for commenting. Ask Deebo Samuel why he hates the Eagles so much. Is that true?
Yes.
Talk to me about why.
Extremely. Just the NFC Championship drama.
All right, sure. I guess the Eagles rematch and the boombox. Straw chat is elite. Yeah, that's what you're gonna. Where are you getting that? Hey, Skip. Hey, Shannon. Hey, everybody. Hey, First Take. Hey, you're talking about straws? No, we're talking about straws. Okay, guys, did you hear that we have Dak Prescott this week? We have Daniel Jones this week. Bill Simmons. I've never talked to Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
I've literally never met him, talked to him. No, he's got.
I want to hear him interact with the comments. He's a chirper. I like it.
Are there any good questions here? These are all good questions, guys. Thank you. Can you retweet from my, or how do I, what's up?
Just showing you some that we screenshotted. We talked about this one.
Okay, I like that.
I like this.
We're gonna ask Deebo all the tough questions.
I like this one to start the season.
Okay, I like that. Can you send, can they, I don't know, how do we even do this? This is like a whole new thing.
Want me to send it to you?
My wife uses a straw drinking hot coffee to keep her teeth white. Well, your wife has her shit together. Let me say that. Where did I get the cup from? This I don't know.
Me, Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. We'll put it in our put it on our link tree. What is it? Our Amazon storefront.
Are we an influencer? Do you want me to read something?
I don't know. I don't even know. What do I ask Deebo, guys, to message me?
You ain't on the team, what? Do you like Deebo? Deebo. Man, I'm big. I'm bad.
Deebo Samuel, it's a foot race. My goodness.
I won't quit. Keep on grinding.
And he makes the catch.
Man, I'm big.
We have to get clearance for better music. I don't know what that was, but I just absolutely cannot. But it doesn't matter. This guy doesn't need music, okay? His highlights sing a song that we love and listen to and cannot wait to see defeat the Steelers this week. He's with us today. And the rumor has it every Tuesday this season, if we get along. We'll see. How lucky are we? Listen, I have two nephews that are like 10 and 6. They live in the middle of Wisconsin. They probably couldn't tell me where San Francisco is on a map, but they're like, Deebo's coming on the show. Why? You're the coolest player in the NFL.
Hey, man, it's just, I'm saying, the personality and the energy that people see me with, and, I guess they love to feed off of it.
We have questions coming in hot and heavy over on YouTube. Somebody wants to know speaking of music, what is the boombox song this year?
So we don't actually know the boombox song right now. What we do is we find a song, we play it out, and then whenever we lose, we got to find another song. Because I feel like, that's just how we do it. And, we haven't found one yet, but it is coming close, so we got to figure it out quick.
Well, I don't want y'all losing this year, so you better pick a really good one.
I'm just saying, that's just what we've done in the past couple of years,
Yeah, Deebo, we're so happy to have you. I got to ask you, have you sent any shirtless photos to any head coaches lately?
Man, Kyle, man, that's my guy, bro. just the hard work and, all the stuff that I put in this past off season. It was just like, we had a talk. We sat down before, mandatory minicamp was over and went through the tape and went through the film and, kind of had a big reflection on like how the season went and had a, one-on-one, and he told me how he felt. And after watching it, I kind of agreed. So just took that time in this offseason to get my body back right and just get ready for this year.
Now, I think we're in store for the year of the Deebo. That's what I think. You are the most special kind of player. There's a million ways to use you. How much of the game plan and your usage is like up for discussion? Like how much of it is it a conversation with you and coach?
It's crazy. It's really not a discussion. It's not, he do what he do on his end with the offensive mastermind he has. And, we show up Wednesday morning at 7:15 in the morning and just get ready to go. Whatever he have in store, he knows that I'm a team first type of player. I'm never going to back down from a challenge.
What's the perfect way to use you?
Just get the ball to me. I think that's the most perfect way you can use me.
What do you mean?
I mean, you got something rolling right here. You see how, Brandon Ayuk with an awesome block downfield, just making it a little easier for me to get in the end zone.
Now, I know y'all signed Brandon Allen as your third quarterback, but hear me out, okay? You, my friend, you've thrown the ball. You've had some success. 19, Deebo, 19's a quarterback number. So talk to me. We have a couple of these throws. Should they let you throw the ball more?
Hey, it's crazy. I was joking with Kyle yesterday. For as I'm an emergency quarterback if you ever need me. I'm kind of 100% right now. Even go back to college tape. I'm 3 for 3 on touchdowns. So, we just joke a lot about things like that. But I mean, if it comes down to it ever again, I'm up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to CMC, who sort of had the role last year, but I really think they should give it to you more. I'm surprised after your contract, renegotiation, that there wasn't a conversation about you wanting to have a say in how you were used, because there was all this BS about you don't want to be used at running back, all this, but it's you and coach are great.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Love it.
There was never a time where I told Kyle or John or Jed or anybody like that I didn't want to be running back, because I mean, I'm a team first type of player. So whatever it is to help the team, I'm going to do it. So therefore, I don't know where all that noise came from or anything like that. So I mean, hey.
I do, and I hope they're watching. I hope they're watching at Up and Adam Show on YouTube right now, because then I hope they feel real stupid about saying all that stuff. Okay, week 1. I can't believe it's here. It's here. You did all the work in the offseason, all the shirtless photos, all the thirst traps to Kyle. I get it. Listen, Brock Purdy is your starting quarterback in this window to win a ring. Is he the perfect quarterback for this team? What is it about him?
I mean, I kind of got a glimpse of it from Purdy when we played Houston in preseason. Not knowing too much about him, not getting too many reps with him. But it's just his attitude and how, he was never, scared of the moment. So whenever he got his chance and he came in and did what he did, I was kind of surprised, because you never see guys come in and, have that type of attitude, have that type of swag, and have that much attention to detail, because during weekend practice, the number 3 quarterback is not getting any reps. So therefore, it's just his mindset of, always being ready, and the way that he prepared, and, as he get to see him going week in and week out, is just and to this day, it's still kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's Ben Kurt was in that quarterback room last year. He was on our show, and he sort of said the same thing. He just sort of ran it like he was the QB1. I've heard players say that. I remember Chris Long told me that about Jalen Hurts, way before he was even in the running to get the starting gig or to get reps out there. So that sounds like it makes sense. So there's a lot of talk about the Trey Lance thing, how it was handled, but then there's a lot of talk about how the locker room didn't like how it was handled. Is that true?
I don't think that was true. I'm not going to speak too much on that, but I think, as Kyle and John said in the media, everybody had a fair shot to, be the number 2 guy, because him knowing, what Purdy did last year, I mean, you can't just take the job from him. So I think, just feeding off what Kyle and John said, everybody had a fair shot, and, the organization made the best out of the situation that they had.
Yeah, and if he was still there, then you couldn't be the emergency quarterback out there throwing to Juwan Jennings. So I think everything sort of worked out, and hopefully he has a nice career in a situation down in Dallas. Now, you played Pittsburgh. That's your week 1 opponent. It was only your 3rd career game. It feels like it was, Deebo, it feels like it was forever ago. It was 2019, not Jimmy Garoppolo's best game. That was rough. But you guys got your 3rd straight win. You went to the Super Bowl that year. What do you remember about facing Minkah Fitzpatrick? Because when I think of this, he's sort of like the Deebo of defense, being as versatile and as playmaking as exists in the NFL. And this is going to be a battle on Sunday.
Not in a disrespectful way or nothing, anything like that, but I don't remember too much from the Pittsburgh game. I mean, it was like 5 years ago. But one thing I can remember, it was a physical, hard-fought game, and it came down like to the last drive where one thing I actually do remember is Dante Pettis scoring on the last drive for us to, go up and win the game. But I feel like this is going to be a pretty good, physical, tough game. They got good guys up front. Obviously, they got Mika in the back, the brains that they have back there. But, I just feel like it's going to be a pretty good match.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I want Kittle to play. I don't know what's going on there. And, you're talking about their defense and how good they are. Man, I wish I knew that you guys had a defensive showstopper suiting up for you this weekend. Bosa. Bosa. Talk to me.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Okay. Well, Travis Kelce went on New Heights, his podcast, and he made the case for Chris Jones, his issue, his little holdout stud, number 95, to come back and end his holdout. I thought it was I didn't love it. I think you could do better. What would you like to say to Nicholas John Bosa?
I ain't gonna lie, not gonna say too much. We ready for him to come back. He's an awesome player, awesome person. I mean, we just ready to get back in the locker room and just see him do the things that he do.
Can you win the Super Bowl without Nick Bosa, Deebo?
Next question, please.
Okay. Well, but that is the question. Okay, you know what I'll ask you about that I know you're going to want to talk about?
What we got?
I love an NFL bestie. I love a situation like that. And you've got that going on with Ronnie Bell, okay? He's calling you a big brother. You've taken him under your wing. We love to see that. And the Niners love a late round pick if I'm looking at it. George Kittle in the 5th, Hufanga in the 5th, Juwan Jennings, who you threw a touchdown to, in the 6th, Elijah Mitchell in the 6th, Brock in the 7th. Tell me what, you called him a real-life gamer. What does that mean?
It kind of took me back to myself when I was a rookie after watching him. When you get to the league, you don't know how important and how detailed it is to be a receiver in the NFL for as Kyle's offense. So he was struggling with practice a good bit, but then once we played our first game, I'm just like, whoa, this guy here is actually a gamer. So I just sat down and talked to him bro, it's different from college. Practice is just important as a game. So you got to take every down serious. You got to be on the details, this, that, and the third. But it's just amazing to see the things that he did out there on the field, and just ready to see him grow.
Deebo, we have some questions here from Up and Adam Show. Thanks, you guys, for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Ask Deebo who his favorite NFL player is that's not a teammate, says Darius.
My favorite NFL player that's not a teammate?
Yeah.
Whew, that's a tough one.
Is it?
I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson.
Really? Any reason?
I met Garrett about a year and a half ago through my marketing team, and he's a real cool dude. Cool to be around. And I just love the way he played the game.
Attilo says, ask Deebo how he's going to feel when he loses to the Giants week 3.
Week 3, we ain't in there yet right now.
That's the perfect answer. And does pineapple belong on pizza is a question I will never ask anyone to answer.
No.
Deebo, we love you. I just flipped my straw out of the cup. You are amazing. We will see you next Tuesday after the win against the Steelers. How about it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Hopefully Bosa's back, but you're not giving me nothing. Deebo needs to warm up to the fact that this is a family. This is a family show. He can give me the right information. All right, we're gonna do Predict-a-thon. Geno Smith, Mac Jones. What? Lock out. Like it goes to the screen. I have to put in an 8-pin. I have to put this in. I can't. No, I'm saying like
The
if I don't.
passcode.
Yeah, if I don't touch it for a minute, I have to put. It has to just stay like this.
Yeah.
You can,
We can talk to IT. We can see how to get that work.
But I want to be able to aggregate. Yeah. Well, I think I might not be able to be this. Hey, Cat.
Take 20 seconds. I can fix that.
No, I don't think it. Well, try. Try.
Auto break.
Oh, Cat. In comes Cat.
there we go.
Guys, this is Cat. Yeah, I say we do it. We can fit both in. My straw. You guys see that?
There you go. Auto lock. Oh,
No,
only
see,
5
I
minutes.
know. What does that mean? Only 5 minutes. What are we in
Usually there's never.
what are we in FanDuel IT worry about that we would lock out the 2 minutes?
No idea, but
Be careful with the straw. I know, guys, it's a weapon. All right, we're gonna roll on with Predict-a-thon. Are we showing the ones we've done so far? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
You guys, I'm about to say something reckless about Derek Carr. Like reckless.
I cannot wait
What did I say last year about Derek Carr?
that he's gonna have
The most
best
passing
career-
yards?
Yeah.
The best career. No. I
The
said he was
best.
going to lead the league in passing, I believe.
Yeah, we
He
fixed
did
it,
not.
remember?
I don't remember. I remember like standing here and there were 3 verts here.
Yes.
And it was
Weather Woman.
I'd known Marissa for like 20 seconds before we did that show. Like I was like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm doing a show here now.
That was fun.
Okay, Deebo needs to open up a little more.
We're building the trust.
Deebo should
Building a
trust
family.
me. I'm trustworthy. Nothing on
Working
Bosa.
relationship. It's a working relationship. We're good.
But what is going on with? I'm worried, man.
I
I
mean,
don't like it. Bosa's that dude. He will steal. Niners fans. I'm doing a couple picks on Friday. I think we have like a Smirnoff sponsorship. I'm getting drunk on the show again all season, like I did last
And
year.
early boozing on the show.
And I don't think I don't think I even need the Boozy Susie to bring out the fact that I think I'm picking the Steelers big time in that game.
oh, baby.
Marissa, are you gonna ice me?
Oh, I should.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is slightly more athletic. Andy Dalton. Okay, well, how about the real thing is like Kyle Rudolph not being super glowing about Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
but also kept bringing up the money. The money that, well, then maybe you guys should get a young gun in there and build around the roster. There's no way that
Should have been traded.
This is Kirk's last year.
Daniel Jones, best QB you played with up to that point.
I don't, that was crazy. You know what else is crazy? This, right here, you guys are about to see.
It's Predict-a-thon! 8 days of K's NFL season predictions. And here she is with her pick, Kay Adams.
People are losing their minds. It's Predict-a-thon. We are 2 days away from the season. 3 shows left before the start of it all on Thursday night, and that means we got a few more predictions to get out of the way for the season to come. Last week, here are my predictions, okay? Friday, I announced to the world the Dolphins would not finish below second place in the AFC East. That means trouble for you Jets or trouble for you Bills. You fan bases duke it out. I want none of that. But my prediction for today, we're going to take a little journey to the NFC South, okay? And a quarterback who has found a perfect fit Goldilocks style with a new home. My prediction for today's Predict-a-thon is Derek Carr will pick up his first career playoff win. Ding, ding, ding. And to me, obviously, we love Derek Carr, but this is more about the Saints, okay? I know they are the heavy favorites to win the South, but I think we see this squad go further than that, okay? They're gonna get a home game in that crazy Superdome. And as I kind of said last week, I think this team's way more dangerous than they get any credit for. It's hard to believe Carr has only played in 1 postseason game as he enters his 10th season. But I think that year 1, with DA, with Michael Thomas, with them all, change in vibe, roster he's walking into, DeMario Davis, all the like underlying things are that the vibes are high in New Orleans. And I'm sure the first year had Sean Payton stink all over it. And I think it's a little less this year. And they can sort of do their thing separately of living in the shadow of the great Sean Payton. And I think that he picks up what has been evading him. You heard Kyle Rudolph on the show, right? Kirk Cousins gets so much grief because he's a highly paid quarterback who hasn't won a Super Bowl. We need a playoff win for the highly paid Derek Carr to happen. So those are my predictions. What do you think, Saints fans? You know I'm high on you. It's anybody's division. Go grab it. Okay, we have 2 more predictions then after this one. Are we doing fantasy, guys? All right, let's go to fantasy bits, guys. Your drafts probably already happened. I tried to help as many people as I can with their draft order. And no, Cameo's not getting any of your money. I did it for free. I'm gonna give you guys my top 3 favorite values at the tight end spot in honor of the amazing career of Kyle Rudolph. First up, we got to go with the kid that everyone didn't want to talk about when we visited Bill's camp. Oh yeah, the rookie Dalton Kincaid. He's somehow still going as a tight end too. Good job PR staff and comms crew and Josh Allen not wanting you to talk about him. Nobody up there wanted to talk about him. He's going behind Njoku. He's going behind Tyler Higbee, people. He's an absolute lock to crack the top 10. We have seen the ability all camp long. You tried to keep it quiet. I see you, Bills. I see right through you. I'm going to see you live in the flesh against the Jets on Monday night. He's lining up in the, in the slot. He's lining up everywhere. He's lining up in the backfield, flashing route running. He's got the hands. He's got the versatility. He's got the comfort level with Josh Allen. He may end up being the number 2 option in the Bills passing game when all is said and done. And the reason he's gone so low is obviously not because he's not being talked about or doesn't deserve it. It's because of Dawson Knox. It's that effect. Sure, he'll be there. Fine. That's great. But I'm very confident in Kincaid's ability to outperform where he's going at 14. How about Juwan Johnson, okay? Saints tight end. Back to the Saints. Why not? I think people feel as though last year was a bit of a fluke. He's going 18th. This is my, oh my gosh, this is my streaming daily fantasy tight end of the season. He finished 8th last year, and he's a better quarterback now. So the math isn't mathing when it comes to fantasy pros or any of you idiots ranking out there. When you look at the connection between him and Carr, and you pay attention to it, it's been really amazing through training camp. The converted wide receiver was giving Darren Waller vibes before Derek was throwing him the ball. Wide receiver skill set, he's got the body of a tight end. You can see why he scored 7 touchdowns last year when you look at what he's able to do on the field at that size. It doesn't make sense. The physics isn't physicsing, okay? I think he can also reclaim a spot in the top 10 this year, and he might even sort of elevate himself into the elusive club of elite fantasy tight ends. Finally, Irv Smith Jr., where you been? We missed you. Speaking of Minnesota tight ends, we love you, Kyle Rudolph. Congrats on the career. It didn't work out for Irv Smith there, but he's going 20th at the tight end spot. Injuries are a concern, sure. The ceiling, though, does make him a nice pick here. He's got new vibes around him. It's the Bengals, serious talent. He looked great when he was in Minnesota, when he was healthy. So he's, got a tight end maker in Joe Burrow, who's healthy. He always just seems to get the best out of his tight ends, doesn't he? So there you have it. They've got some nice matchups as well. Burrow is going to make you want to grab Irv Smith late in drafts. And we'll see you tomorrow.